I was halfway to the trash bins with a bag of diapers when I heard Ida's soft, muffled cry that didn't sound like any stray animal. I stopped. There it was again, a tiny, broken whimper that sliced through me like a blade. I dropped the bag and sprinted toward the dumpster behind our HOA-managed community park. What I found nearly brought me to my knees. Curled in the corner of the bin, like someone had tossed out a broken toy, was my 5-year-old son, Noah. His Spider-Man hoodie was stained with something dark, and he clutched a piece of chalk like it was the only thing keeping him tethered to the world. His voice trembled when he said, "The man in the shiny vest said I was trash." I knew who it was before he said anything else. Mark Hensley, the HOA's power-drunk enforcer, a wannabe cop who paraded around the neighborhood like he ran a military base. Noah wasn't supposed to be out of my sight, but I'd left him for just a minute while he drew chalk heroes on the walkway by our unit. That man grabbed him, called him trash, and dumped him like garbage. I took Noah inside, washed his face, bandaged his scraped elbow, and made him cocoa, all while biting my tongue until I tasted blood. Then I checked the porch cam. The footage showed Noah sitting quietly, coloring the sidewalk. Then Mark stormed in, pointed, shouted, yanked my son by the arm, and dragged him away. What happened next? He opened the dumpster and dropped Noah in like he was throwing out a used coffee cup. I stared at that screen, fists clenched, heart pounding. Most people would have called the police. Maybe a lawyer. But I'm not most people. I'm Rachel Cruz, retired featherweight MMA champion, and I hadn't forgotten how to fight. I drove straight to Karen Whitmore's house, the HOA president. 5 blocks away, gated entrance, manicured everything. She answered the door in a silk robe and fake smile. "Rachel, if this is about the chalk incident," I cut her off. "You call throwing a 5-year-old in the trash an incident?" Her expression didn't even change. He was defacing HOA property. Mark was enforcing community rules. I stepped forward, she stepped back. "If that man ever touches my kid again, rules won't protect you." She smirked. "Is that a threat?" I smiled. "Not yet." That night, I reviewed every HOA bylaw. Mark wasn't enforcing anything. He was abusing his fake authority. And Noah wasn't the first. I found posts, comments, whispers. An elderly woman whose lawn gnomes were seized, a disabled teen whose ramp was blocked for aesthetics, a veteran fined for flying his flag at the wrong angle. No one had fought back. Until now. The next day, I took Noah to the park. I sat him on a bench with juice and a fresh box of chalk. I dared them to try again. Mark didn't show, but Karen did, flanked by 2 smug board members in pastel polos. "Let's discuss this at the next community meeting," she chirped. I handed her a USB. Footage of Mark throwing my son in a dumpster. "It's already backed up. Unless you apologize in writing, fire him, and pay for trauma counseling, it goes public." Her jaw twitched. "You wouldn't." I leaned in. "I will. But I'd rather settle this before the gloves come off." That evening, they sent me a mediation offer. I ignored it. This wasn't a negotiation, it was war. I walked into the next HOA meeting early, laptop in hand. Karen entered like royalty. But the moment she tried to speak, I stood up. "Is it okay to throw a 5-year-old in a dumpster?" The room fell silent. I played the video. Noah's cries echoed through the hall. A woman gasped. Another covered her mouth. Karen tried to spin it. "Context matters. No child deserves that," I said calmly. "Fire him, apologize, or I make this go viral." I didn't wait for a response. I just left. By morning, the video had spread. A teen named Riley sent me her own footage of Mark grabbing her for walking a dog off-leash. She had sent it to Karen 6 months earlier. Karen ignored it. I didn't. I uploaded it. Now it was everywhere. HOA thug assaults child. Mom exposes neighborhood abuse. I filed a lawsuit: child endangerment, emotional trauma, negligence. I named both Mark and the board. I sent Karen a copy with a sticky note. "You could have apologized. Now we'll see you in court." Neighbors started knocking on my door. Ruth, the elderly woman, told me Mark smashed her bird bath. Tony, the veteran, admitted he was fined for a flag on Memorial Day. I started documenting every story. I turned my garage into a gym, the octagon of justice. Not just for fitness. For healing. Resistance. Karen tried to shut it down. Sent me a cease and desist. Too bad I already had it zoned as a nonprofit recreation space. I faxed the paperwork back with a note. "See you in yoga class." Mark showed up one night. Clipboard. Vest. Said he was inspecting a noise complaint. I walked right up to him. You're trespassing. I'm authorized to verify property use. Not anymore, I said. And a restraining order's in progress. He looked around. No allies, no authority left. You think you're tough because you fought in a cage? I smiled. No, I'm tough because I'm a mother. And this is my cage now. Karen's last move was a community safety seminar. I showed up in jeans and a compression shirt. When she said, misunderstandings have been blown out of proportion, I stood up. Want me to play the video again? I didn't have to. The whole room turned on her. People demanded a vote. She screamed that this wasn't how governance worked. I walked past her. It is now. At trial, Ruth testified. Tony, Riley, and then me. I told the court how I found my son in a dumpster. How he stopped drawing. How he asked if he was bad. My voice cracked when I said he told me. Maybe superheroes aren't real. Karen took the stand. Blamed Mark. Claimed it was a joke. Dante, my lawyer and former fight coach, showed the jury her emails. One said, sometimes these brats need a scare. The verdict was swift. HOA, guilty. Mark, banned from any public role. Karen, permanently barred from holding HOA office. Justice didn't roar. It exhaled. Noah's drawing returned. Bright, bold. His superheroes came back. One day, he made a poster. Mom's gym equals hero school. It hangs above the heavy bag. The HOA was rebuilt. Margaret, a retired librarian, was elected president. Fines became warnings. Power was replaced with compassion. Kids played. Flags waved. Ruth learned to punch. Tony helped install new lights. Riley spoke at her school about standing up for yourself. And me? I stayed out of the spotlight. No speeches. No politics. I just kept the gym open. A sanctuary. A reminder. One day, a sign appeared beneath mine. Burned into wood. It read, mess with the kid, meet the cage. I didn't hang it, but I left it there. Because they need to know we not afraid anymore.